Hey, beautiful people. How y'all doing? Hope all is well. Oh, look, little tiny dark, huh? How y'all doing? Hope everybody's well. Having a good night. Today is Monday. So happy Monday here at Freedom Radio. Happy Monday here at Freedom Radio. Hope y'all having a good day and enjoying this beautiful June. We're almost into July, right? Aren't we? All right, do me a favor. Will you please go out there and like, tag, and share with your friends, with your people. Please like, tag, and share. You may not be seeing me on Facebook, but you will in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And yeah, do me a favor, get out there and please like, tag, and share, and so we can hang out with everybody tonight. We're gonna have some conversation. So let's talk some music things first. What's happening? Shout out to Vincent Bohanna. He has a brand new song called "I'll Never Forget." It is absolutely phenomenal. Like seriously, very phenomenal. So you should check that out. What else is happening out here in these music streets? Shout out. Oh, yeah. Let's talk. We're going to talk a little bit about the BET Awards. We're also going to talk about it with our guest tonight. So I'm going to do something real fast. Okay. You going to stay right there? Just stay right there. All right. So we're going to grab something real fast. All right. So, sorry. I didn't have this at first. I usually have myself together. It's been a long day. All right. So, yesterday was the BET Awards. Did y'all watch it? That's better. All right. So yesterday was the BET Awards. It was absolutely incredible. Live on BET. I saw a lot of people talking about they couldn't find it. This is why I keep I know y'all cable television, but I always keep BET no matter what. So it was live on several spaces. Most of the time you can find it within a couple of days on YouTube and things like that, but they've actually stopped doing that. So if someone tries to put up the whole show on YouTube, what's actually going to happen is within probably a day, it's going to get tagged and it's going to be pulled down. So what I would suggest is maybe I'll find some ways that you guys can go back and watch it on whatever networks whatever networks you're usually on. There's usually ways to find it. You just have to dig. But it was good. It was a really good show. Super proud of us. Shout out to, on the gospel end, shout out to Erica Campbell and Leandria Johnson, who did a tribute to those who passed on by singing I Love the Lord and Total Praise by Richard Smallwood. It was really, really great. Super proud of those ladies in that moment. And so there was a lot of special moments last night from Lauryn Hill. They honored Lauryn Hill. They honored Tiana Taylor, who I love. She's doing her thing. I love Lauryn Hill, of course too. D'Angelo. It was super, super great. People looked nice. So it was a great time last night. So I hope you watched. If not, you should always go back and watch it again. I always encourage it from this standpoint. Everybody's always frustrated about the things we don't do. It's like we don't do this and we don't have that. But you have to support it. The more they see viewers, the more they feel the viewers, really the more they see the numbers and people watch, and the more things we can have. So go back and watch things, things of that nature. And that's how we get more people. All right. So again, do me a favor. Please like, share, and tag to your friends, to your family. Let's see what else is going on here musically. There's a lot of great music in the world. So I always encourage this. Go to your streaming platform, whether it's Apple Music, it's Spotify. For me, it's Apple Music, whether it's Apple Music, Spotify, even this Pandora. Shout out to Lisa Knowles, who just did a moment at Sirius XM. They had a full day of quartet on Sirius XM, an hour or so, and then on Kirk Franklin's Praise. And then in addition to that, they had the Lisa Knowles and the Brown Singers at Sirius XM singing live. So I think you can go back on Sirius XM and watch. You may say, Yolanda, I don't want a subscription. They actually give a free subscription for like 3 months. So just go back and watch it. You might find yourself liking it. What I did like about Kirk Franklin's Praise is it was playing some things I hadn't heard in a long time. Shout out to that too. Kiara Sheard has a brand new song. It's called Shine. I believe that's right. I'm gonna look it up as we talk. Okay, so Kiara has a brand new song. It's edgy as Kiara is. It is called Shine. It's incredible. It's great clean up your house music. It's great getting ready for the day music. It's Kiara's always great. I feel like she doesn't miss. So do me a favor and do that. Okay. All right. So that being said, we have a special guest tonight. We won't tarry. All right. That's what we're not going to do because it's Monday. But what we're going to do, we're going to have some great conversation. And listen, I want to do more of these interviews. Everybody say Yolanda should talk. She should talk more. So Shout out to our station manager who said, "What do you need? How can we make you look elite?" So that's what we're working on, right? So I'm a little fuzzy tonight, but that's what we're working on, right? Because I didn't plan to it be like this. I just love music. I love the music industry. I'll be singing. Somebody asked me, Yolanda, how long you be singing gospel? Till I'm 100. And then, me and Jesus can just go walk. All right. So, all right, let's have some conversation. She's in the audience. I believe she's ready. Her name is Tia P. I hope I get that right. Miss Tia?
Hey,
I'm
how
good.
you
And how are
doing?
you?
Yes, TFP. You got it right.
Cool.
I can't complain. Blessed, black,
So,
alive.
can I get you
You
to
know.
turn your volume up just a little bit?
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Can you hold on, can you hear me a little better?
I can hear
A
you a
little
little
bit?
bit better. If you could get a little louder,
Uh,
you might have to get a little
let's
closer.
try fix my microphone real quick.
Then I might be able to hear you a little bit better.
Is that a little better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. I don't know if that may or may not. We're good? Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, you might just have to talk up a little bit. How are you? Uh-oh, can you hear me?
I can't complain. I'm
Oh, maybe it's
a little
me.
bit.
It could be me. All right, let's try this again. Okay, now can you hear me? Uh-oh, it's pausing on your side. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, we're good. We're
Oh
good.
no. Let me see if I can. I might have
You're perfect. I can hear you
to.
perfectly.
It was working just fine before. I don't know why. Try to move to another location and see if that works real
No,
quick.
I can hear you perfectly.
Alright. And now you can? Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah. I can hear you
we're gonna make
perfectly.
this work. Okay. All right. All right. I'm at my grandmama house, so got
I
gotta
know how it
got the old
goes.
school furniture in the background. So okay.
All right, so it's such a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for
Okay, but
hanging
hopefully,
out with us
hopefully this
tonight.
works. Bless.
Yeah, this
Thank you
is
for having
good.
me,
Yes, absolutely. So tell us a little bit about who you are for those who may not know you.
Well, I'm Tia P, born and raised in Inglewood, California. I'm a multi hyphenate rapper, singer, songwriter, producer, drummer, health advocate when need be. But yeah, I also am known as the placement queen because I have over 400 placements on television, movies, TV
Wow.
shows, games, you name it. So yeah, that's my world.
Congratulations to you. That's incredible.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
we
Thank
should
you.
celebrate that, girl.
Yes, he's worthy. Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations. So tell us, let's start right there. Tell us
Mm.
where some of your placements are. And for people who may
Uh,
not know, right, they're watching this, that's not what they do. Can you help people understand what are placements? Uh-oh, I think she's a little stuck. She's stuck maybe just a little bit. So is she stuck? Yep, she's stuck just a little bit. So we're having an interview tonight with Miss Tia P, who is a actor, singer, songwriter, producer, musician. She's a girl drummer, which is extremely dope. So she's a girl drummer out in the Inglewood area, and she's also on season 2 of. Let me make sure I get this right. Is it Hustle and Flow? Is that correct? Oh, Rhythm and Flow. Uh-oh, she went out.
okay.
Is that
Am I
bad?
back? Can you see me?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right. The Wi-Fi is being ridiculous. All right, we're gonna rebuke that bad Wi-Fi. Okay. Can
Okay.
you repeat the question, please?
Absolutely. Doesn't she look like a Barbie doll? Absolutely. Okay, so the question was, for those who may not know, you said you have over 400 placements. For people who may not be familiar with what that is, what is a placement?
So a placement is when you get your music. placed alongside some type of visual media. That could be, when you watch TV shows, the music that they're playing in there, the music that plays in movies, the music that may be placed in games or advertisements and things of that nature. So that's any music that's attached to some type of visual media. That's basically a
That's
placement.
amazing.
Yeah.
All
So
right. This is
that's
very
my
cool.
world.
This is very cool. So tell us where some of your placements are.
Uh, I've had a few in the show All American, where I actually had a few roles in All American, or a role in a few episodes in All American as Kim Nitty,
Very
because I
dope.
act as well. Shout out to SAG AFTRA. Also in Google Ads, the new Google Pixel phone, I actually have a song in there. There's been some placements in daytime television with, I think it's Kelly and Mark. What am I forgetting? I think The Shy, or. Yeah, it's kind of like all over Netflix movies, and it's just kind of everywhere. I just got a new placement. I just landed. I'm not sure where it's going yet, but it's constant work, and I'm definitely blessed to have that.
That's an amazing, amazing. I want to stay. I keep saying it because I think a lot of times, this interview again. We're not gonna tear it tonight, girl, but because this makes me excited because I think we don't celebrate people's moments enough.
Mm,
So I'm a kind of flow type person, interview type person. When I saw a lot of commentary, I heard you at the BET Awards last night, so I want to definitely talk about
yes,
that. But
let's
I
go.
saw people saying commentary about Tiana Taylor, like she didn't say God's name first, and this, that, and I thought this is crazy because I thought we don't take enough time to just celebrate the moment and
Yeah,
just celebrate the fact that she was in the room, she's present, she's doing all these amazing things. She's this mom, she's walked
right,
through some public things, but she's still pushing. So I just want to
right.
sell to say this is amazing that you have that many. First of all, that you have the placements at all, and then that
Yes,
you have that many placements. Like that's just an incredible thing. So we totally celebrate that.
thank
Um,
you.
so I understand you're also I'm a team fan, girl drummers all day. I don't play
Yes.
drums. I can play nothing. God was not.
Okay.
He said you can't be pretty and play the drums, and you can't have all of that.
He said I got to balance it out. I got to balance.
So I'm not giving you all of that, girl. But you're a girl drummer.
Hmm.
So your publicist made it very clear that you got off the you went back to church and played the drums, and then that's so. How long have you been playing?
So my father is actually a drummer. He's a musician. Both my parents are musicians, but my
Wow.
dad is a drummer. His father was a drummer. So that part is just kind of in my blood. They never forced it on me, but there's a photo of me. I think maybe I was like maybe two in our old apartment, and my mom tells me the story behind it. I just unprovoked gathered some pots and pans, and I think it was an egg beater and a whisk, and I just made my first little makeshift drum set. And that's when my mom was like, "Well, we got another drummer." So it's been my
Wow.
foundation, and my first uh I guess introduction to music, knowingly or unknowingly. So that's been over 20 years now, over 30 years now. Yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. This is
Yeah.
incredible. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you do. You do acting,
Right.
you're writing, you do all these things. Uh, how did you get into these spaces?
Well, with my, like I said, my drumming came from my dad, but a lot of what I do stems from church. I'm a church girl through and through. That's my foundation. That's where a lot of my musical journey started, from watching my dad play at Faithful Central, which is my home church. Shout out to FCBC.
Yeah, I've heard of Favorite
Yeah,
Central.
yeah. Yeah. So that's a lot of where it started, watching him play. And then I started to play for our children's choir. And then as I was watching him, he's also a producer and a songwriter. So growing up watching him on his equipment,
Okay.
I would always tinker on his things until he was like, okay, you know what? Let me get you your own stuff, because you can't be on mine and I can't be on mine. So I think I was maybe 10, between 10 or 12 or whatever. He got me my own, my keyboard, all my setup. And I wrote my first song, which was a gospel song. And our kids' choir at the time, and we were at the forum. So that's when Faithful, we had bought the forum. We were having service in there every Sunday, packing it out. And the kids' choir did my song called Holy Ghost Party. And it was like, if you let the Lord slide to your left side, if you let the Lord slide to your right side, if you let the Lord slide to your backside, come on, everybody. It's a Holy Ghost party. So like that was my first little bibbity bop. But that was the first time that I'd actually performed anything live in front of, an entire audience like that, with the band doing my music, with the choir, singing my
Wow.
lyrics. And I think that was the moment where I kind of got the bug or the itch, and I was like, I this is something I could do this for life. Like, this is, if I could wake up and have some element of this in my life every day, this is, I think, the path that I want to take. And from then on, my parents were very supportive. Again, them being musicians, they would not BS me if I wasn't good. You know what I mean? They're supportive, but they're not gonna just throw me out to the wolves if I wasn't ready. So they've definitely helped me hone my craft as an artist, as a singer, as a songwriter, as a lyricist, and just being exposed to so many different genres as a kid. Like I said, I'm a church girl, but my parents love music in general. So from
Wow.
Kurt Franklin to the Hawkins to Tupac to Miles Davis to Stevie, you know what I mean? So those are all major influences on what I do, and that's basically where it all kind of jumped off for me.
This is amazing. I love this. Like, this is incredible. I can already tell you. I want you to come back for shop talk. So we're
All
gonna
right.
schedule that like real fast because I want you to get some really good because that they're out in the Bay. So my dad is actually
Mm.
from LA. So I've
Oh,
been
okay.
going to LA all my life. So this is like really cool. So I want you to come back for sure. Like, I can already tell you that. So I would
Bless.
love for you to tell us about so you currently have music out, and I understand you
Yes.
church girl, but you do hip hop.
I do. So I like to tell people I'm not a Christian artist, but I'm an artist who's a Christian.
Absolutely.
And that's a space I'm unapologetic about. I'm been able to walk in certain spaces, um, just being who I am and carrying that light that some people may feel uncomfortable with, but never dimming my light just because I'm in certain spaces or places. If anything, from listening to my music, whether it's, the hip hop tracks or the R&B tracks or, whatever, people feel a sense of that light, and whether they know it's him or not, they talk to me long enough, then they know exactly who I represent. So yeah, it's definitely something I carry with me just as a human being, and it reflects in my music.
How has the balance been for you?
It's been interesting. Early on in my career, there, and still to this day, in a way, there was sort of this monolith idea of thinking with female artists, particularly when you are a female rapper. And I've kind of had fun in breaking that. I mean, we know we're not a monolith, but in the
Right.
industry and a lot of times in labels and the way that they kind of pit female artists against each other as if there can only be one. You got 99 male rappers and artists out here, but it's only be one female rapper at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Absolutely.
and and just kind of navigating that space, finding my way not only just as an independent artist, but also as a female artist in the sync placement world, which has opened so many doors for me, opportunities, just relationships, collaborative opportunities. And I think because I've established myself so strongly in that space, now people who are more established in more of a mainstream industry type way are coming to me because they want to get into that space. Sync is the new record label, is what my manager and I talk about all the time. And it's a very unique place for me to be in, but also to just to kind of be I don't want to say an OG in that space, but definitely somebody who has mastered their craft in that space and had success in it. And now I'm helping other people also get into that space too.
This is dope. This is dope. Let's talk about your experience last night. How was it? You went to the BT
Mm.
Awards. Is
I
it your
would,
first
yeah.
time?
It was my first time. Shout out to my
Okay.
publicist, Jeremy Glover, the great Jeremy Glove. Hey,
Yes,
Jeremy.
Mr. Glover.
Yes. He's definitely been an incredible addition to, my camp team TP. And it was my first major like award red carpet. He guided me through it like a pro. It was pretty intense, not in a bad way, but just, you never know what to expect till you're there.
Sure.
But walking the carpet, it was a cream carpet that they had laid out, and just seeing so many people that I either grew up listening to, currently admire, records on the radio, um, like hundreds of outlets, standing in my spaces to take my photos with the whole wall of press. It was just, it was a very new but almost like, yeah, this is what you
I'm
build
supposed
up
to be
to
here.
moments like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
everybody was really, really dope. It was a little hot though. I will say it got a little warm out there in those streets. But
Really?
yeah, it was, yeah, combination of the lights and the sun just wow, right on this good melanin. But that's why you gotta wear your sunscreen. But yeah, no, it was an incredible night. The fashion was fantastic. The food was good too, because we do love some good hors d'oeuvres. And yeah, it was an experience, and I'm definitely excited for what 2027 is gonna bring. Just bigger and better. You know how we do.
This is cool. Congratulations. What was your favorite? What was your favorite 2 to 3 moments of the night? Like, what did you say? Oh, I'm taking that with me, or man, like, oh, what a moment, or yeah,
It's got to be a combination of, and this is in no particular order. It's got to be the D'Angelo tribute, which I'm a
mhm,
big D'Angelo fan. Grew up
yes, me
listening
too.
to all of his stuff, and I remember I was in college when D'Angelo and the Vanguard, when that album came out, and that was the talk of conversation amongst me and my musician friends for a while. But that was incredible. And shout out to my boy Duran Bernard for being a part of that and killing that. I'm trying
Killed
to
it.
think.
Let
Uh,
us pause for Durant.
yeah. Oh, let us.
He's
That
so
is.
amazing.
He is. And just so y'all, he has been that way. I've known him for several years now. And the Duran that y'all see is truly who Duran is. He's not only just an amazing talent, but he is a solid human being. And you
I
don't
believe
get
that to be
you don't
true.
often get that, together. But yeah, shout out to my boy Duran Bernard. And let's see. Okay, so we got the D'Angelo tribute, always honoring Lauren. And when Nas came out, that was just the icing on the cake. Lauren
Absolutely.
is one of the reasons why I am a female artist as a rapper. She's been one of my biggest
Wow.
inspirations. And so, it's always nice to give people their flowers while they can still smell them. So
Absolutely.
that was incredible. And I think overall, it wasn't necessarily a specific moment. It was just the vibe, just being around what I call black excellence. Us
Mm,
being able to be loose, have fun, laugh, cry, be serious, give homage. It was to be in that space where we can have all these variations of emotions and feelings and not feel like we're being judged or watched, or I mean, of course it was televised, but I mean just amongst us, to go through all of that, I think is just a very, very special thing that we don't often get, in society and just out there in the real world.
how was it for you when Janet Jackson came out?
Oh, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty, yes. Man, I grew up again, another one of those icons. It's funny. My parents, they each have their cheats. My dad allows my mom to have Prince, and my mom allows my dad to have Janet.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
their two. It's all right. You could look at Janet. But Janet
yeah.
has been. I mean, again, such a versatile career, and the longevity that she's had and the impact that she's had on so many artists, including myself. I mean, Janet's Janet. She's great. She's great. And
Janet is
honoring
Janet.
Tiana Taylor, giving her flowers, that was just the icing on the cake for sure.
Yeah, I really love what I saw last night. First of all, I was just proud of us. Like I felt like I know people didn't like well feeling like the BET Awards wouldn't come back and they took this,
Hmm.
kind of took this pause. But I felt like maybe, sometimes pausing is not comfortable, but
Hmm.
sometimes it's necessary. And I thought the pause was good. They came back and there's is nothing. I think sometimes we have to realize we're still human. So I don't know
Yeah.
if it's ever going to be perfect, right? But I think
But
it was
what
good.
is?
But what
Yeah.
is? But
Mm.
I think there was just a lot of great, great moments. I always say, gospel, hear me, BT, please give us more than 4 minutes. But
Say
are
it
you with
louder
that?
for the people in the back. Yes. Yes. Golly.
Yeah,
You know.
I just, but I'm a gospel girl, so I always tell people are shocked, like you listen to R&B. I grew up in the
Yeah.
'90s.
That's the best era of
That's the
R&B.
best era, right? So I grew
Hey.
up listening to SWV, and everybody knows I love Jodeci. I grew up listening to
Hey.
SWV and
Oh,
Jodeci,
yeah.
right? And
Yes.
all
Yes.
all day long, right? So Jodeci and Jagged Edge, Ideal. Some people don't know what Ideal is. So Ideal, the
Man.
Rude Boys, this. But I grew up in
Hmm.
Colorado, so I grew up listening to Guns and Roses, actually, like Guns and Roses, and
I,
this
yeah.
over here. And my mom's, born in '79, so I love, love, love the Bee Gees. So I grew up
Hey.
watching. Yeah, I love the Bee Gees. I grew up watching a show called The Monkees. People don't take that as black people, okay? So it was some boys who played a show called The Monkees, and so I grew up listening to the Beatles. So I think there's so much music. There's so much color in that. Color is in color in music, right? And so you grow up listening to that, you can't help it. I'm a church kid. I love Jesus till forever and then some days, right? But I think when you grow up listening to all of that, you can't help but love that. I think, to be honest with you, I think it's refreshing to hear or meet a woman who is hip hop, but she's a Christian. I like the way you put it, Betty. You said, I am a Christian who happens to do hip hop, right? Is that the way you put it?
Yeah, I'm not a
So
Christian, not a Christian rapper, but I'm an artist who's a Christian.
I'm
Yep.
an artist who's Christian. I don't think that everybody is supposed to, I know people are going to get mad, but okay. I don't think everybody's called to stand up and sing praise and worship.
Agreed.
I don't think everybody's called to sing in the choir. I don't think there's some of y'all that's in the choir need to go strongly go to the greeters meeting. Strongly, please. Because it's just not for everybody.
I feel, and that's the thing about gifting and ministry. You have to know, you have to be operating in your gift. And some people are operating and it's not necessarily in their gifting. You know what I mean? And for me, the best reflection of what we can do is to operate in the gifts that we've been given. You know what I mean? Because that's the definition of a gift, is something to be given. So he's bestowed upon us whatever our gifting is, and then for us to use that and
Absolutely.
push that out for whoever else may need the result of hearing or seeing or being exposed to that gift. We're just the vessels
Absolutely.
for it, but we gotta know what it is first. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah,
totally
absolutely.
agree.
I always pull the line from Sister Act. If you wake up in the morning thinking about music, you're supposed to be a single girl. I believe that to be true. And so
Yeah.
every morning I wake up with music playing in my head. I don't know about you, every morning.
Man,
It's
I go to sleep with it. It's in the morning. I'm loud from the moment I wake up. You can ask me. I gets loud. I got to good morning, even if it's just me. Good morning, me. Just and then hit play on something, and I'm going. That's how I get my day
yeah.
going.
Yeah. When it's in you like that, you can't help but to do it. So I thought it was
Mm.
cool for that, all of that vibe, all of that presence. When it's there and when it's authentic, you feel it, even through the screen. And I felt like, oh,
Yes.
this is good. I was excited for Tiana Taylor. I thought that was
Yeah.
a beautiful moment. Lauren Hill. I just thought, but yes, BET. Can we? You already took Bobby Jones from us. Can we please? Can we please add more than 4 minutes to the segment? Can
Come
we?
on.
Can we please?
Because
Can you give us
see,
8?
here's the thing. Black folks know. Now we have our time to get ratchet and this, that, and the third, and be all that. But we also, just as much as most of us love that side, a lot of us still love hearing gospel music. A lot of us grew up
Absolutely.
on it. You know what I mean? It is our cultural foundation for many of us. So yeah, I think they need to put some more respect on the gospel segment. Like you said, give us at least a good 10, and don't just have us sing during the dead people tribute. I mean, like that's beautiful. Leandra and them killed it. But you know what I'm saying? Gospel is bigger than just the in memoriam part. So that's all
I
right. That's
so
my two
agree with
cents.
this.
I'm
I
done.
know we're
I'm
supposed
done.
to talk with you about you. I agree. Like, I just agree. So here's where I agree. Gospel music, I become more and more loud about this ever since I moved to the South. Right. So I was
Okay.
already like this, but
Mm,
now I feel this. I always tell people I feel more black. I know this sounds weird, but I feel more. My mom was from the country, right? So you think I would
mm,
already be like that? When I moved to
mm.
this side, when I go back home, I'm walking to the airport like, I lived here. There's so many. I feel like I'm the only black girl in the whole airport. This is crazy. When I
Dang.
come back here, I'm like, oh, it's just normal. Like, oh, there are black people everywhere. So I think people forget that gospel music is the foundation to all the genres. Somebody tried to argue me the
Yes.
other day. Well, Yolanda, no, 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 it really is. It's the
Right.
foundation to all of those genres, right? So
Hmm.
even Elvis was a church kid.
Right. Right.
People don't know that.
I
Elvis was a
mean.
church kid. He got inspired by going to these revivals that were coming through his town. He got
Hmm.
inspired by all these black people, right? And people don't know, I actually love Elvis. So he got inspired by all these things, right? And so gospel music is the foundation to all these things, jazz, blues. I just
Hmm.
learned that it was the essence of country. So it's an essence to all these things, right? So
Yes.
it should
Yes.
always, it always deserves more than just the middle or just the memorial or just at
Right.
the end, because now all of a
Mm-hmm.
sudden, we want Jesus part. I think
Right.
it deserves more moment than that. But one question I would like to ask before we continue
All
is,
right.
when you were experiencing that moment, what was that moment like in that building?
Which moment?
The tribute, like when Erica and Leandria were
Oh,
singing, what was the moment
you
like?
know, it's interesting. They are Eric and Leandria. I've grown up with Mary since I was a kid, and they actually used to go to
Yeah.
our church and stuff like that. Also, shout out to
Oh,
Warren Campbell.
cool.
So
Oh, Faith Central.
yeah. So it's almost, it just feels familiar, in a good way.
Okay.
It just feels like, like I'm getting a segment of church, you know what I mean? Not just a performance, but we when you grow up with gospel, when you really are a fan of gospel, when you are in it, it's not just a performance.
Absolutely.
Some may see it as a performance, which in part it is, but it really is just, it's giving a message, it's giving people hope, it's giving people God, and to an audience, and to some people who may not even know, who may never show up to a church service, but they're watching the BET Awards, and somebody might have just got saved off that because they both sang their faces off. You know what I mean? So
Did.
it's just good to feel the spirit really move in a good way, and on that type of platform. So
That's
yeah.
really cool. That's really cool. My other question I want to ask you about the television show. But so you
Mhm.
grew up in the same church. You were a kid, but you grew in the same
Yeah.
church as Mary,
Yeah.
as the
Yeah.
Campbell family. So how was that experience for you?
I mean, it was great. I mean, I've always been a part of I've never just been a participant, I would say, for church. My parents met uh through gospel music. I was born into that church. Shout out to Bishop Kenneth Omer. He's now retired from there, but that's the
Yeah.
tutelage that I grew up under. And I was always involved. Like, my father always played drums for Faithful. So there was never I never really saw them as, I don't want to say like celebrities in a sense, because I was always involved in the music. My parents were always involved in the music. It just felt like, they're doing it on a much grander scale. But when we all
Mhm.
come to church, we all just come to church to have church. It's not their stars or anybody's bigger than anybody. It's we all
Mm.
come to use our gifts to get some good word and take that with us in this crazy world when we walk out. So,
Oh,
I
that's
just felt
good.
like fam.
And you're from Inglewood. I think when you grow up in spaces like LA, though, it's like, oh yeah. Tyrese goes to my church. It's just like this is every day normal, right? I know Angela Bassett, Stevie Wonder, a couple other people go to
Hmm.
West A, right? So
West
it's
Day,
like,
yeah.
yeah, that's Angela. It's just. But I think when you grow up in that space, but I say that because I think it's cool to. Oh, there it is. I think it's cool to be exposed to that because obviously what it took you into for your future. So you
Yeah,
were already exposed to these spaces and to this world. So when you
yeah.
come into the bigger spaces, it's not like it's totally brand new.
Yeah, and there's a respect that also goes along with the craft and just the familiarity, being around certain people, because it's interesting, because in certain people's eyes, I, I am one of those types of people who people aspire to meet, or to,
Hmm.
who's helped them with, their creative space or understanding of music. So, and I don't I don't mean like to compare myself in that same scale, but it's in the eye of the beholder. And it just also reminds you of how, even with them, they've never been standoffish, or unwilling to talk or use their gifts, or be weird. Some people are weird, but no, it's never been that space. And you see how they are with people, and it rubs off, and also allows you to be similarly in a way when you interact with other people as well. That's why I'm never too stuck up. I'm never, holier than thou. I've never felt the energy of being an untouchable, because without people to give you your flowers, and without people to who want to hear what you do, we're all just artists making music for ourselves in a room. So
That's so
we
good.
need we need that support, and that love from other people, and fans, followers alike. So yeah.
Well, girl, let me say, obviously, you're not far away when you have 400 placements. So
Thank you. Thank you.
you're not far away because some people have never, taken the leap to even have that. Last night I saw this woman named Renee Winston. I don't know if you know who that
Mm.
is. Her name was Renee Wilson. She has a
I
song
feel
called
like I
Only God
know.
Can Do It. Only
Yeah,
God can
yeah.
do it.
Only God
Do,
can
do,
do
do,
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only God can.
So
Yeah, I know this
she
song. Yeah.
posted a clip that they were playing her song during one of the breaks.
Mm.
And I thought, wow, this one song. So that's to say, you never know what it's gonna do, right? But
Yeah.
if you don't release it, if you'd have never released one placement, you wouldn't have got to 400.
Very
So I,
true.
I think I think there's a lesson in that for people, that you never know what door is gonna. Oh, that's for myself. Ooh, you never know
Yeah.
what door is
Yeah.
gonna open for you. Yeah, I kind of felt that a little bit in my shondo. You
Yo,
never know what's gonna.
Shondo. Yeah. Yeah.
You never know. I'm trying to get this out.
That's all right. Come on,
You never
Shonda
know what's gonna
rhymes.
open
Hey.
for you
Yes.
though. You never
Yes.
know, right? If you want to take that one moment, you just don't know. So I love this because
Yeah.
what I think music should do is it should live past you. Good music
Yes.
should live beyond you, right? We're
Yes.
always going to be singing "Saving All My Love for You," right?
Mm-hmm.
With
Mm-hmm.
nobody else. I love y'all, but when y'all do the Star Spangled Banner again, just play Whitney. Just press play. Just I'm good.
That is
Okay,
that is the bar. She is the bar for
she is
that.
the bar, right? And
Yes.
so it should live past you. It should live beyond
Yes.
you. And so all that you're doing, this is wonderful. So tell us about you were on the television show, reality show, Rhythm and Flow. Is that correct?
Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
how
Season
was that
two.
experience? What is it, and how was the experience?
So Rhythm and Flow is a hip hop artist competition show. It's on Netflix. They season one happened, I think it was a couple of years before the pandemic. And shout out to D Smoke, another fellow Inglewood native. He won season one, and so the opportunity came for they were doing season two. Now at the time, before they don't tell you what the show is when they're trying to get you on this, like, it's a competition, it's this, that, and the third. They give you as much as they can without telling you too much until you're actually guaranteed on the show, and then they can tell you it's
Okay.
for Rhythm and Flow. But Netflix being an international platform is, I mean, it doesn't really get any bigger than worldwide. So I'm not gonna lie, before I knew exactly what show it was, I was a little hesitant. I'd done a
Mm-hmm.
show a few years back called on BET called The Next Big Thing, and Durant was on that show too, actually, with me. So if y'all can find the
Wow.
episodes and the memes from that all online. But it's interesting. Television is an interesting thing because television will always take precedence over whatever the thing it is promoting, because even
Mm,
though it can be about music and things like that, it's still television. There's still a
still
certain
television.
it's still a certain level of entertainment that has to take place, or drama, quote unquote, to kind of meet those metrics. So but for nothing else, like I said, once I went through the process with Rhythm and Flow, and they confirmed that I would be on, and they were like, we can tell you now what the actual name of the show is. This is for Netflix Rhythm and Flow. Da 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 da. Da. I was like, oh, I, I like that. I like we go from domestic to global. I can dig it. So I didn't really have any super high expectations, not from myself, I'm saying, but just about how I anticipated the show to go. Again, working on TV and film and music and as an actress, I do kind of just have an understanding of the nature of how these reality shows, competition shows can go. But I was just coming in open minded, planning to just do me. That's I don't know how to be anybody else. So if they like it, they like it. If they don't, all right, cool. God's got something else for me. So, but it was a very interesting process. We shot the whole show in Atlanta. I was there for about a month and some change. Yeah, yeah, about a month. Met a lot of the other incredible talent that's on there from all over, and it was great to kind of put myself in competitive mode. Oftentimes I'm meeting deadlines for songs, or if I'm writing for myself, or just for my independent music, I don't really have a set timeline or anything like that. So it was nice to it was interesting to do some things and certain challenges under a clock, under a pressure cooker a little bit. And I know they do that to just kind of see, can we take it? Can they handle it? But overall, it was a great experience. I meeting Ludacris, who's been one of my all time faves, was really really great. He's found a way to mix the comedy with the skill set of rapping and still be entertaining, and still have that type of longevity. So meeting him was super great. And the other judges were Lotto and DJ Khaled. So it was good. And now, mind you, Atlanta in January, freezing cold. Wouldn't do that part again. And they flew
Really?
us, yeah, and they flew us out to Detroit also for a segment where we met Eminem, and that was actually really really cool for me because I love Marshall Mathers, that's my guy.
Eminem is
Uh,
amazing. Yes.
yeah, and so that it was even colder in Detroit and it was snowing. Wasn't
Yeah,
happy
you
about
can have
that.
Detroit in the cold. Yeah, you can have it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I was like, oh my God, I'm from California. I'm not ready for this. I haven't felt this type of cold since my Howard days, in DC. But no, it was definitely something that I'm so glad that I was chosen, and I'm even more glad that I took that opportunity because it really introduced a plethora of people to me who either didn't know who I was, who maybe had
Mhm.
heard, my voice or my songs on, the placements, but never made the association. You know what I mean? And I think I was from the feedback that I've gotten from people that I've met over the years now from different spaces is that they really appreciate the way I represented myself, the way I represented my music. There's a lot of different variations. Like I said, as a hip hop artist, especially as a female, we are not a monolith. We definitely can cross the gamut when it comes to that. But to get the love and the reception that I've gotten from people from all over the world, and especially people home in Inglewood, even when I'm out and about, just picking up groceries or getting my little shrimp basket from Louisiana Fried Chicken, just at the least expected times, people will walk up. I'm sorry, are you TP? Are you? Oh my God, you were on the show. Oh my God, girl, I was so mad when they let you go. Spoiler alert. Yeah, I'm top six. So if you haven't watched it, sorry, I didn't win, but I'm on there for a minute. So, but yeah, it's been
Yeah.
really really great to just get that feedback and that love, and now I have more followers. I really hate using the word followers because everybody's a leader in some space, but I have more people who are now, hip to the TFP brand and supporting, what I'm doing. So that's
So
definitely a blessing.
this is cool. Can I? Yeah, I did ask Mr. Glover. Is there any question off the table? Because how can I say this without getting in trouble?
I mean, I'm pretty open.
Um,
You can ask me
so
whatever. I
reality competitions can be, in my opinion, very tricky.
hmm
Oh, yeah, Joe. They can be very tricky because sometimes things don't always come out as the way people would like. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I said this to some people before who've been a part of other national. Um, I'll say it about myself.
okay.
When other national platform competitions have come to the surface without giving names, and I was
hmm
heavily encouraged to do them because I'm a singer. He said that part.
Right.
So I'm a singer, right? And I was heavily encouraged, and I have a really great friend who will always say, impart the word into my life. And he said, before you make this decision, you need to know all these parts
mm
before you go into this space, right? And that's not to say you doing it was bad. That's just to say I
mm
think a lot of times people go into the space with no covering, with no
Yes.
understanding, with no anything, and then you get there and you're not prepared, as my friend always says, for the fall.
mm mm
When he first said that, I said, "Huh?" He said people are not prepared for the win or the lose.
hmm
They're not prepared for the fall. They're not prepared if it's up. They're not prepared if it's down. And
Right.
so I think in that a lot of times mm, I'm not against competitions at all, but I think sometimes people go in them, and when it doesn't give them what they thought they were going to get, it
hmm
seems like their whole world falls apart. Or
mm
some music competitions, no certain ones, have been known not to provide what they told the people they were going to do.
mm
And so it leaves people hopeless and these people at the bottom wondering who they were. Was there ever a
mm
point in the competition where you said, I don't know, or it felt like, because you said there's a certain aspect of it, which I think sometimes people forget, right? I'm so
hmm
glad you said that. I think sometimes people watching reality TV, they forget that there is a portion of this that's entertainment. The thing is, we don't always, it's the watchers, we don't
mm
always know what part of it is entertainment.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we don't know
Yeah.
what part has been cut up. We don't know,
Right.
you watch things like Love and Hip Hop and you're like, well, why would you? And later you find out, oh, they put them together in that same room, even
hmm
though they knew these people didn't like each other because we needed some
That
drama.
drama.
We needed the
Yeah.
ratings. Was there any, if you feel comfortable sharing, was there any moments where you felt like, yeah, this is not for me? Like
You
this
know,
moment.
I don't think there were any moments like that in particular. Like I said, because I'd already done a music competition reality show, I wasn't a novice and I wasn't going in, I don't think, with unrealistic expectations. Also, going in knowing that win or lose, this is an international platform. So there's gonna
Mm,
be, I'm not there to please everybody. I'm there to showcase who I am. Do these challenges as best that I can, and as best as I feel comfortable enough to do. The only part that I was a little bit hesitant about was the battles, because I'm not a battle rapper, and as a black woman, I don't like. And it was me versus another female artist, and I'm not in the space of tearing somebody down. I know
sure.
some people, like, it's sport. Like, that's great. I understand it's sport. I think it's incredible when some people could do it. But that's not the space that I am. So I had to find a way to still do my skill set, be the artist and the creative that I am,
Sure.
but doing it a way that I felt comfortable. I can still, hit my jabs, hit hard, but I didn't want to win something and walk away feeling like I wasn't my authentic self in doing that, as if
Mm,
I was
that's
putting
so
on a
good.
persona just to win this show, because it's never that deep. I mean, biblically, what is it, gain a man to gain the world and lose his soul. So
So, yep.
that's the whole space that I operate in, even in television, outside of television, in the studio, in real life. That's just the me you get is the me you gonna get all the time. I'm a
I
Gemini,
love
but
that.
the me you get, like, you're not gonna get a different T or P on the show than you will when you in real life or at a show or something like that. But other than that, yeah, just having, I think, measured expectations,
Mm,
knowing kind of what's to come, definitely staying prayed up. And even while I was there, I was still getting calls because I had my equipment with me. I was still working on some songs for sync, even in the midst of that. So I still had my regular focus on, my
mm.
quote unquote job hat on, as I was shooting this show, being an entertainer, projecting my music and doing the challenges and progressing in the rounds. So yeah, it takes a lot for me to not be me. It takes a lot to get me out of my space of comfortability, because me and God just tight like that. So, yeah,
I
yeah,
love this
yeah.
because it sounds like you didn't put all your eggs in one basket.
No, no, and I think it's a bad decision for people to do that, especially in an age when there are so many baskets. You know what I mean? I think
Oh,
it's, if
that's
it works, it works. But you shouldn't let one thing be your end all, or one moment, one show, one song, one review, one anything define you. Whether that be in your artistry or just who you are as a human, because we are so much bigger than those moments. But it's knowing that those moments are just that, moments. They come and they go, and then the world is off to whatever's next. So just, yeah, being versatile, and knowing that you can exist in more than a moment, in more than one space.
I think you should. That's good content. I think we just gave you some good content, girl, because that's good.
Hey.
Because I think most often in those spaces, people do, like, I just love the way you said it. There's so many baskets, and I think people forget that we're not in the same day we were. I'm not sure your age, right? But yeah, I grew up in the '90s. Well, in the '90s, there were several baskets. It's just people didn't have access to the baskets.
Yes.
So it took longer. Like, people may not know. Again, I'm not sure your age. Like,
Mm.
you had to really be somebody to be on Ride On magazine. You had to
Right.
really be somebody to be in Source magazine, or even the gospel side, like Gospel Today, or things.
Hmm.
You had to like be in a certain space to get in the room, to be on Celebration of Gospel, or be on the Soul Train
Right.
Awards, be on. You had to like
Hmm.
really be. Where now I heard recently Lizzo say, like, you don't have to do that. You can be on TikTok. You got a great song. You're pushing it. You got to do the work. Now I
Yeah.
do say this often. Being a celebrity today is not being a celebrity then. That's a
No.
different level of celebrity. I personally don't know if that celebrity's coming back, because
Mm.
that's a different earn.
I don't think so. I think
I don't
because
think
we're
so.
now in the age where, like you said the word accessibility. I think because people are more accessible now, it's almost like
Hmm.
that air of exclusivity. Like, we will never have another age of a Michael Jackson. I don't care
Mm-mm.
how popular
Never.
any of these other artists are. That was for a space and a time, and that type of star power, and like I said, artist exclusivity, and kind of being able to have a little mystique about you. Now artists still can have that, but it's
Absolutely.
but it's just different today because
It's
people
different.
have access. We can interact with a wide range of people at one point just by going live on our Instagrams or TikToks or things like that. So I think for a time, that only existed for a time before this new age of technology and
Absolutely.
accessibility. But yeah, you're right. The operations of a celebrity now are very much different than they were then. Some for better, some for not so better. but
Yeah.
but it is the reality, and that's you people want to really know who you are now, and yeah.
I have one last question for you. You said something I think is really good. Again, I would love to have you back again because I want to make sure we give you more time and more space and just more people and give a sense to talk to you. There are ways people can replay and stuff. But first, thank
Definitely.
you for, I always say it's my opportunity for people to share their story, right? I don't ever feel like, well, you get this opportunity. It's my opportunity because you were somewhere
Mm,
last night that I would have liked to be. That's
mm,
fact. You're in a space that I'm not in. And I think it's important for us to know that these spaces exist and that they're
yes.
I think it's important for us
Mm,
to know these spaces exist, that there is opportunity, that all is not lost, that you don't have to count on one basket. I love that you said that. There's so many baskets and you don't have to count on just one. And if you're a believer, just because you see it this way doesn't make, like, you don't hear music the way other people hears music, right? I
mm,
love choir music, but somebody else don't like that. I love quartet, but somebody likes CCM. You know what I mean? Or I
right.
love R&B in real life. Like,
Hmm.
but somebody else likes classical, and it's not wrong
Right.
because you like that thing. So
Right.
I love that you've taken a step to move outside of the space. The reason I keep going back to church because I think one thing I personally have come to grips with, and I love us, but we're very selfish with our Jesus. So we don't want anybody else to have him, but we want people to have
Mm,
him. I think we're kind of like confused sometimes, right? We're like
mm-hmm.
all in
No.
invisible straitjackets. It's like
No.
we don't want people to have him, but we don't want people to have him, and we only want them to have him within the confines of these space.
Right.
So if you don't have him right here, you don't have him. But what I love, what it sounds like you're doing, is doing what we're supposed to do. You are a woman who is a Christian who does hip hop, and
Mm,
you're able to talk and share your light in spaces that I may not get in, that somebody else
right.
may not be in, and I think that's important. Um,
Definitely.
and so, what you're saying, how do you feel? Like you talked about the access and the things changing. Do you think in today's day it's still important to have mystery or mystique about yourself?
I do think it's important to have that. I think there's a balance. There are certain creators who I don't know when they sleep because it's like they share their lives 24/7.
Yeah.
And while I mean I don't have the capacity, that's just a lot. But I do think there's a balance, and there's an importance in being able to know when and what, and knowing that there are certain things that are just for you and your people, you and your relationships, you and your children, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And everybody
absolutely.
has a different level of comfortability with that. But no, I don't believe everything is for public consumption. That is how you kind of become beholden to whatever that your audience, or this, that, and the third. And there are some spaces that are just for you, just for your peace of mind, your time with your family, your friends, your dog, your kid, your church, whatever. It's good to put things out there, but there has to be something that we keep for ourselves. And
Mm,
otherwise we're sitting around just kind of putting ourselves out for social consumption, for views, for likes,
so good.
and people can get consumed with that and mistake that for reality.
It's so
And
good.
so keeping something to yourself, especially for me, I can speak for myself, it helps me keep the peace, it helps me balance, it helps me figure out, okay, what is the next thing that I do want to put out for public consumption, what is the next visual that I want to put out. If I have that downtime, to just talk to myself, talk to God, work some things out. Like we were talking about earlier, a pause is not always a bad thing. It's usually a pause that starts the regrouping, the evolution, the next phase. So yeah, gotta find that balance.
Wow. I love this. Like I said, we don't have to tear it, girl. Church you that way.
We
Well, you
won't
said
tarry
something.
long.
We don't have to tear it long, but I do want you to share with people like how can they find you, connect with you again. I don't want you to come back again.
Mm,
But you said something I wanted to share. I went to go see the Michael Jackson car movie, right? And all of a
mm,
sudden, I'm a black girl. I'm not
yeah.
hood. I have like just about this much hood in me, but
It's like we all got a little bit,
just a little bit. But
a
I
little.
felt like I did my black card duty.
Ah.
And I told my friend I just don't think I could watch it again. And not because it wasn't good.
Hmm.
It made me sad.
What
And I
made you
said, and I thought
sad?
about it because I what you just said, because I felt like there was so much of him that he didn't get to keep to himself.
Mm,
And so when you said that, I think it's a great reminder that it's okay to. It's even a reminder for me because sometimes I think social media brings this undercover, invisible pressure,
mm,
especially when you're an artist, content creator, things like that. That you got to share more. And the
mm,
algorithm wants more. I saw something
mhm,
earlier today. Also a graphic designer. A guy said they just want you to show more so they can steal how you did it.
mm,
And I recently saw an interview where someone was talking about Missy Elliott and
mm,
how when she records, she doesn't let anybody see her process.
mm.
I said, really? And they were like,
Wow.
it might have been like Sierra or something. And they was, and Kiki was interviewing her, Kiki Palmer.
Mm,
And she said, no, I've never seen how and she said, you've been all this time. She said, I don't know. That's just some part that she just keeps to herself. And somebody could say, well,
wow.
she has to pass it on. I think she
Mm,
has passed it on. Somebody could say, this might be a little, in the middle, if you will, like, but
mm,
I think it's okay that she keeps some of that to herself. You know what I mean? So like with Michael, somebody could say she's not sharing. No, I think she has shared a lot. I think she has shared her life. She has done these things. She's opened doors. I'm
yeah.
saying that to say, not for you, but for people watching, it's okay. I agree with you to keep some of that to yourself. And when I saw the Michael Jackson movie, I thought, wow, he just never got kind of an opportunity to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're watching it like, why are you friends with animals? Because he didn't feel like he could be friends with other kids.
Right, because he was already
His,
Michael Jackson in his childhood.
his childhood.
That's one of the earliest things. My degree is in psychology. If I were to
Wow.
if I were to do
Nice.
anything other than music, I would probably go back, get my master's, and do my own little company or whatever. But that's one of the things. Childhood is so important. Early childhood development, because those are
Mm-hmm.
the ages and the stages that really shape us and make us into our teens, into our adulthood. And that's again, like you said, he never got to just have anything for himself. And so when he became an adult, he was still almost like that little kid who
Yeah,
just wanted
absolutely.
to be accepted and play, have fun, because he was in a sense kind of robbed of that, give or take, for his stardom, his talent, his
Absolutely.
career. So yeah, you gotta those that's definitely a really great example of a reminder to, yeah, keep hold something for yourself.
Hold
Yeah.
something for yourself. And yet not hold it like because when someone sees us, I don't want to share. No, there's just some parts that are okay to contain for a little while until
Yeah.
you work that out, right? You dating the guy, you don't gotta tell everybody right now. Like hold it
Like,
for a
just
second.
wait a little bit, see
Just
where it
wait a little
goes.
bit, just
Yeah.
let's make sure you make it to Friday. Like just just wait a
Please.
little second,
Because
right?
by Sunday,
Like
you be like, girl, he ain't. I'll be like, oh my
what
God.
happened
Okay.
was,
All right. Be like, I don't even want to hear it. I don't even want to hear it. Yeah.
yeah, contain a little bit for yourself. I think not just sitting on Michael Jackson, but I think it's such a good representation, it's such a good example of giving too much or not taking enough for yourself or knowing when to pause or being okay. I love that
Hmm.
you do psychology. So this, probably registers with you, like knowing it's okay to tell people no.
Oh, I've gotten so comfortable with no. I say no with a smile now. Like it's you know what I mean? It took some time for me to get to that space, but that's a real thing. And I think, especially, I mean, when we're young and we're grinding and out, boom, 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 energy on 10, we feel like we can't do everything, and we try, but at a certain point,
Yeah,
you're gonna hit a cap. You know what I mean? And it's better for you
absolutely.
to know when that cap is than that cap to tell you, hey, your body will tell you. For me, I always know physically, mentally, I can go, but my body will usually tell me, hey, okay, chill, take a break. I know you want to do this, and the third, but maybe we don't do the third and we just do this and that. And maybe, the third will always come around. There's always going to be something else. So again, not harping
Yes.
on one thing. And like I said, putting your eggs all in one basket. Give yourself some grace. God rested on the seventh day. What makes us think that we don't deserve rest at all is beyond me. But yeah,
Wow.
give yourself some grace. Give yourself some rest. Recharge.
This is good. I've enjoyed talking to you. You are.
Thank you.
I love
Likewise.
talking to people with substance.
Mm,
I love talking to artists with substance, right? Because I think it happens with a lot of artists is you go into a room and you don't know how to adjust to the room because you don't know how to read it.
hmm,
And so when you don't know
yeah.
how to read it, they'll be talking about sky and you'll be talking about the dungeon room. And you just lost in the sauce.
Yep.
you
Hmm.
just you got to know how to read the room. You got to know. My mom always said you got to know when to talk. As the song says, you got to know when to hold and you got to know when to fold.
Know when to fold them. Yep. Oh
Always.
yeah.
And so I love this. It sounds like you have a really great head. Shout out to your parents. Sounds like you have a super duper great head on your shoulders. And
Thank you.
I'm excited for you. This is like cool. Like, oh,
Thank you.
interview the
Thank you.
superstar.
Yeah.
So,
I do all right.
so can you please tell people how they can find you, connect with you, where they can find your music, all those things.
Absolutely. Yes. So artist name Tia, PTIA space P period. If you search that on all your streaming platforms, you'll find me. I also have some of my sync things are under a name called Dali the artist. But if you find Tia P, you can find everything else. On the socials, it's I am Tia P. I am TIAP. That's Instagram, TikTok, X. Anything with an at, that's where you find me. I am Tia P. And definitely make sure you check out the two new singles that I dropped on my birthday, which was Juneteenth. Yeah, Black Holidays. Called
Yeah.
yes, Yellow Lamborghini featuring Roscoe Dash. And the second song is called Forever. Two totally different vibes, but they're definitely some vibes. So
This is amazing. This is amazing. It has been a pleasure talking with you. We definitely want you to come back. Shout out to Mr. Glover. Thank you for connecting us. And
yes.
yeah, this has been good. Like I almost don't want to get out, girl. Like I gotta go to this good rehearsal. But I'm excited.
Well, thank you for
For
having me. I
oh,
appreciate
it's
it
my
as
pleasure.
well.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Tell your grandma thank you for letting us use the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
So
Grandma. No, I'm just playing. I'll tell her she can't hear too good. That's fine.
you can't hear that good.
But she don't think so. But it's all right. She can't. She ain't heard nothing we didn't say the whole time, so it's fine.
This has been good, Miss Tia. Thank you so much again. Thank y'all for watching. And hey, see you again next Monday. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.